from the floor of the CME Group on Tuesday, November 27th. Tim Haefke from Top Notch Trading in this morning with MrTopStep's daily update. Anyway, I'm going to go back to last week a little bit. As I expected, the S&P looking for the 1333 level, and I was close, but like they say, no cigar, when that future ended up finding a 1340.30 low. And I'm taking that 1340.30 low from when it made its year contract high mid-September, and already within 5-6 trading days, the S&P has gotten back over 50% of that move from the year contract highs to this low. Next stop, 618 fib objective says 1980. You incorporate last week's high-low with a weekly fib objective, it's 2080. So right now, I'm looking for the S&P to try to extend itself up to the 1980 to 2080 level. If so, the next stop would be the month high in November of 1430.5. And if that is achieved, the holiday rally should be in full effect, as I suspect, and I suspect, that we could see New Year highs before the end of the year. On the downside, though, is, like I said, boy, 1333, it was such an important level, and with that holding, we find ourselves right now fluctuating a little bit, as I really believe there's a hint of a fundamental flavor to the current move in the S&P and other future indexes. So with that in mind, let's just see what the S&P can do first. I'd like to see them at least get up to about 1412 today. And with that in mind, we'll leave it right there. Now the bonds. I do a lot of studying, and I try to keep it simple, stupid. And one of the problems I have is the studies are some moving averages. And these moving averages are converging in between 150.21 and 150.13. And for a couple days since last week, we're flip-flopping above that, below that. If you take the month high and the month low, half of the 50% of the retracement, is 150.03.5. Okay, so last week, what do? We go to 149.29. The 618 said the move should have went to 149.16, and I love 618 moves. At this time, though, we go back up. We see a high yesterday of 151.05, and a stagnant come back down to 150.10 for today. And they're inside range bound right now. They can't make up their mind. And I have a funny feeling this has to do with the roll. Don't forget, as we move forward with the bonds at this point, the March contract becomes lead month on Friday. So with this in mind, if they decide to make new highs above last week, or I should say for the month of 152.21, 153.05, and 153.23 are objectives. Downside, like I said, I'm looking for 149.16 with a possible move to 149.08. However, boy, I'll just have a funny feeling they're just going to keep flip-flopping along with no real direction. With that in mind, have a good day, and we'll see you next week.